Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you are all having a great day to start things off. Despite the present market crash, major Wall Street crypto bull, his name is Tom Lee, has reiterated his recently reduced year-end price prediction for Bitcoin at $15,000 per coin in an interview with CNBC's Squawk Box on the 20th of November. In the recent statement, the head of research at Fundstrat Global Advisors pointed out two major types of crypto players: those who are using it and have wallets in crypto, and those who belong to the speculative side of the market. According to Lee, those two sides of the crypto community should find a way for sort of interacting with each other for crypto investors not to get burnt by crashes like this. While reiterating his crypto rebound prediction, Lee still admitted that the markets have certainly seen a negative development, which signals a downside of the momentum. However, Lee stressed that institutional cryptocurrency investors are not necessarily getting hurt by the recent market downturn, even as Bitcoin's price dropped sharply to as low as $4,200. In this regard, the investor emphasized the crucial role of institutional participation in the industry, claiming that specifically this part of the market will pull the next wave of the adoption. According to Lee, there are two key factors that will soon bring more institutional interest in the market. First, it will be the upcoming launch of the digital asset platform known as Bakkt by the operator of the New York Stock Exchange. They are the Intercontinental Exchange. Announced this August. Bakkt recently confirmed that they won't be launching until the first month of next year. Tom Lee has been one of the not few, but there are not many hyper Bitcoin bulls. Earlier in the year, I think one of his predictions was that Bitcoin was going to hit $50,000 by the end of this year, and then he lowered it to around $25,000, which was still incredibly optimistic. And now he is stating that he believes that the price of Bitcoin could hit $15,000 by the end of this year. What's significant about that is that we've had a number of people who have recently come out of nowhere the last 4, 5, 6 days who now believe that the price of Bitcoin could fall to anywhere from $1,500 to around $2,500 over the next coming days, simply because we now have information that the Bakkt platform thing isn't launching when we thought it was going to be in the next 4, 5 weeks. So people think that this sudden shift in attitude, or rather the lateness of when Bakkt is going to be launched, could have a not a disastrous effect on Bitcoin's price, but it may not be something that might be good. At the moment, Bitcoin is, at least at the time of me making this video, a couple of dollars away from $4,500. We are going sideways. I'm actually pretty shocked. I told you guys before in a video or two ago, I was relatively scared that people would panic when we had the news of Bakkt. What I think may be holding up a bit of the market is that we know that Bakkt is delayed, but it is definitely going to happen. I don't even know. This has been a very rough year for everybody in cryptocurrency prices. I could definitely see a bit of hype at the end of the year where everyone is trying to make a bit more money, and therefore the prices start to go back up in anticipation of the New York Stock Exchange launching their Bakkt platform. No one knows exactly what's going to happen, but it's interesting to note that there were other people who were talking about that they thought before that the price of Bitcoin was going to be like 80,000 by the end of this year. We also had, I think, one of the more conservative, quote unquote, was between 50 and 60,000. That was highly believed that people thought that we at some point we were going to jump back up to 20,000, hit 25, and then, the sky's the limit from there. Couple weeks left. Let's see if any of these predictions end up coming true. Let's move on. Next up, an investor update from September pegged completion of the Telegram open network. The social media giant's long anticipated cryptocurrency project is at 70%. Perhaps the most notable element of the report, which was leaked on LinkedIn and had not previously been publicly available, is that the virtual machine, simple and similar in nature to the Ethereum virtual machine, required to execute smart contracts on the ton, is all but ready to deploy. The news was first reported by The Block. Telegram, the Russian secure messaging service that sees global usage, including within the crypto community, raised $1.7 billion with a B in its private ICO sale. The Telegram Open Network is intended to be a competitor to the Ethereum network for the launch and execution of smart contracts and decentralized applications. This means that it will likely play host to yet more tokens, and the value of the token may well be influenced by future ICOs that use it as a base platform. This is when we first had news about the Telegram thing. I'm not even going to lie, I completely forgot about this. There are just so many other coins that are launching, and especially so many other platforms that are trying to be smart contract platforms or for dApps as well. This has to be at least number 417 in a wide list. The only thing that makes this one slightly different is how much money is actually backed behind it. I think when they even announced that they were going to be having their ICO, a lot of people, I remember even in the comment section, oh, side note, I know that people on Telegram keep pretending to be me. I'm glad that this story is actually in here. I do not use Telegram, so if anyone on Telegram is asking you for money or saying that they are me or asking you to send them money and or cryptocurrency in exchange for some type of advice, not me. I only use YouTube and I post on Twitter, and that is about it. When they were having their ICO, I don't think in the beginning that it actually was private. I think it actually became private because a lot of people were trying to, there was scares around allowing people to enter an ICO when we had more of like a fear factor around the ICO space and stuff like that. But I'm not sure if it was this one or if it was another one. There was another major ICO, I'm pretty sure it was this one, that actually had, I think, they raised all their money from like 4 or 5 people as opposed to like tens of thousands, how ICOs usually are. So it just makes me kind of wonder, not to throw dirt on this at all because it could be successful in the future. But if, we have a cryptocurrency ICO where only 4 or 5 people did the completion of the funding, and how many coins are these people then getting? Kind of interesting, right? BitMEX CEO, his name is Arthur Hayes, recently commented that the Telegram ICO token had yet to be listed on any secondary exchange, and that he sees in the near future of ICO tokens a reckoning, specifically in 2019. According to the report, some aspects of the network in addition to the TVM are complete, such as overlay networks. The parts that were lagging as of September have less than 50% of the work completed, where the important block manipulation library and validation software stack. Without reading any further, not even that super important. I wonder how well this is going to do. I think this is interesting that Telegram is having one and that Kick is also having a cryptocurrency coming out there. I've said before that I don't really see a specific use case for an enormous number of cryptocurrencies that we have on the market. But on the other side is, if you have the funding, like 1.7 billion is a lot of money. Like if you know how to create an app and you have like 1.5 million to do like your advertising, you can do a fair amount of damage. You can really make sure that you are completely well known. When we get official information as to exactly how this is going to work, I wonder what the exact use of the token will be. Like if it's just another platform to be able to write smart contracts or create dApps on top of, it's a little boring. At least to me, this is kind of how I feel about it. Like we don't need 60 of the exact same thing. Like we don't need 60 companies called Apple. It gets, after the third one, we're like, okay, we get it. But I still think that something has to be found to make your platform kind of stand out from other platforms, because everyone at the moment, as nice as the idea is that in the future a lot of these crypto projects will make people rich, a lot of them are just mimicking each other. Smart contracts didn't really come into existence until it had like 3, 4, 5 years ago, somewhere around there, where someone had the idea to kind of build something like this. Same as I think with decentralized apps, and it seems like everyone is just trying to build their own project that's mimicking the other ones, and therefore they can say how much quicker they are. I can only assume, my opinion, when this does end up launching, the reports that are going to come out about the lack of decentralization, because I have a strong feeling that this blockchain is going to be able to do potentially a couple, I don't want to say 100,000, a huge amount of transactions per second, and people will look into it and realize that a lot of the hubs are probably within Telegram's offices. Who knows? I'm spending too much time on this. The point is, this is apparently almost 70% complete. I do think down the line, or rather even from the get-go, it could be a good investment, just because of the backing that they have, the amount of reach that they have right now, and the amount of people in the cryptocurrency world who are already using Telegram. If they can find a way to integrate it or make it so that there's like an incentive for you or other users to actually use the Telegram token, I still can't figure out what that would be for. Like, I know that there are like groups on Telegram, but does it cost money to get into a group? Like, can you video chat and stuff for free already? Like, what's the point of the actual token? I guess in a couple of months, we'll be able to see. So this is not even grain of salt time. Please take this as the rumor of all rumors. Following Bitcoin Cash's much debated hard fork, the cryptocurrency market has been victim to sellers with a speedy plunge towards yearly lows. However, in the long term, the downtrend term is that taking place right now is not an impacting factor for those companies that are attempting to change the future with their delivered technology. For over a week now, many rumors and words have been spreading that the second in lead for banks in the U.S., Bank of America, is closing into blockchain adoption, and Ripple is acting as a bridge to reach the target. On the 13th of November, Ripple Labs Inc. CEO Brad Garlinghouse told Bloomberg TV that his blockchain-based company is able to gain customers at a fast rate relative to the market because financial firms are looking for faster, more modern technology than what currently is offered through entrenched fintech company known as Swift. I've seen this littered around the internet in certain places. One of my major problems that I have right now, and I don't know if this is happening on purpose. I don't know if this is happening simply because people are trying to push the market in another direction, or they're just trying to. I'll put it to you this way. We had a problem before a couple of months ago, for those of you who remember, where we were getting news that Tron constantly had new partnerships, and then a week and a half later, they were actually not real partnerships. What ended up happening was that people, in anticipation of Tron potentially having a new partnership, started buying up the token and then realized that the partnership wasn't even real or wasn't even a partnership. And I've been seeing, like I said, this sprinkled around the internet as of late about the Bank of America thing, about a couple of other banks. Until you hear concrete evidence either from the Ripple blog, like on their website, or from CNBC with Brad Garlinghouse on it, try to stay away from any type of hype that may be out there. And this isn't even Ripple/XRP specific. This is happening very often with a lot of other projects. I think a lot of people who are writing things online, not even like this website or in general, but a lot of people are trying to push out news to kind of hype up the market for something that could potentially never happen. We've had a lot of rumors before about many banks who are potentially supposed to be working with Ripple. Until they say something concrete, no one knows. We've had a lot of news as well from the other altcoins about partnerships. None of them actually ended up being real. Just wanted to touch on this for a quick second. Unless you've heard it from at least like 5 different sources, like if you can find the information on at least like 4 or 5 different websites, then maybe don't fall for the hype. Let's move on. So this is a fun one. As Bitcoin suffers one of its worst corrections in nearly a decade-long history, one of crypto's fiercest critics is calling it, the crypto bubble has burst and prices are never coming back. Taking a preemptive victory lap on Twitter, economist, his name is Nouriel Roubini, gleefully reported that the crypto market's recent struggles had vindicated his multitudinous criticisms of the still nascent asset class. He said, with Bitcoin down almost 80% from its peak from 20K to 4K, and all other cryptocurrencies down 80 to 99%, I rest my case that this crypto bubble went bust for good. I feel vindicated, said Roubini, a professor at NYU's Stern School of Business. He said, so I will take a break for a few days from this toxic crypto Twitter. Waste of time to convince zealots. And quote, here's the actual tweet. Roubini, sometimes nicknamed Dr. Doom for his oft bearish market predictions, further upend that the fair market price of Bitcoin was sub-zero. Aside from marginal collector's value as a museum curiosity, he said the fair value of Bitcoin is sub-zero once you impose the right environmental externality tax. And I am sure some crypto zealots would buy in at negative with such tax as Bitcoin will have a numeristic value in museums of dead pseudo-currency, end quote. Of course, Roubini has been bashing Bitcoin since it was below $10, and year-long bear market or not, BTC has a long way to go before it reaches the mark. Even ardent crypto skeptic Vanguard founder Jack Bogle said he's discussed investing in Bitcoin even if it fell back to $100. So it's unlikely that any investor who purchased Bitcoin when Roubini first said it was a bad buy will ever see a negative return on that investment. There's certain, and what bothers me the most about a lot of the, whether this guy knows it or not, I'm trying to be nice. when we have a lot of people who are opponents to Bitcoin, don't like Bitcoin, they don't care for the cryptocurrency space, they spend so much time and energy trying to downplay the cryptocurrency market, or even just let's focus on Bitcoin, that they make themselves look almost idiotic because it's clear that they actually care. They're so enthralled by the idea that them saying something negative about it could be completely false. This is why he's, I guess you kind of want to call it celebrating. If you don't really care about cryptocurrencies or you think it's a farce, you don't talk about it. Like, if you fully believe in the world of traditional finance, or you think that you are in a type of an oracle, or you can do this, or you can do so and so and so, or crypto really means nothing to you because it's all one big scam, or it's crypto is toxic, you probably shouldn't be in the first place. There's a fraction of me, and part of me wants crypto to succeed just for people like this. I love these moments. Remember, we spoke about it before, the people who said that the internet was never going to scale, that we would never get faster than dial-up, people who said that no one needed the telephone, people who couldn't understand why people would want to send emails. All these people, you don't hear from them anymore for a specific reason. I don't know why Nuriel is so obsessed with Bitcoin, he could be just jealous that he couldn't get in early enough, or that he didn't actually buy it when it was $10. Regardless of what he says, regardless of what he thinks, even Andreas Antonopoulos has said this before in the past. He said crypto as an idea is not going to die. He said even if Bitcoin and the entire cryptocurrency market dies as a whole, everything completely goes to zero, there will be something else then to take Bitcoin's place. Like, the entire idea that we have of cryptocurrencies and being able to send money back and forth between each other for low cost or no cost at all, whenever we want, however we want, is not going to die. I don't know if he's just been living under a rock and he hasn't heard about all the developments that are actually happening in the cryptocurrency space, or the amount of adoption that we actually have. I hope, I want to say that I hope this is the last time we hear about him. I know that it's not. To have, how idiotic you must feel. Can you imagine saying that Bitcoin isn't going anywhere? Let's say Bitcoin is around $7 and you say that Bitcoin isn't going anywhere, and then Bitcoin hits $1,500. You have to feel a little, I'm not going to say the word. You have to feel a certain way. And then Bitcoin hitting 20,000. I mean, not going to stay on this for too much, but he's been on a couple of TV shows. I think he's still, if I'm not mistaken, supposed to have a, what's the word? A debate with Vitalik Buterin. I'm not exactly sure if this is still going to happen. I think Vitalik Buterin, this was weeks ago when he was screaming off at the mouth about how crypto was a complete farce and stuff like that. And I think he went in front of either the Congress or the Senate in the States and was talking about it as well. I hope he takes a break. I hope he loses his Twitter password. I think it would be better for everybody. And if you really feel that bad about crypto, right, you just don't like it, do just stay away. Like, we don't really want you in the first place. Let's move on. To finish things up, I thought this one was actually quite interesting. Tobacconists, is that a real word, in France are reportedly going to be selling Bitcoin to the public starting from the new year. According to France-based radio station known as Europe 1, tobacco retailers will be offering Bitcoin vouchers in denominations of 50, 100, or 250 euros, anywhere from 57 to 285 US dollars from the very first of next year. Local crypto startup known as Keplerk is said to have signed a deal with a cash register software provider to facilitate the scheme. Keplerk will allow customers to convert their vouchers into Bitcoin and store it in wallets on its platform. It said initially some 3,000 to 4,000 tobacco shops will be selling the vouchers, with others likely to be added later on, the report states. They said tobacco shop owners are the best channels as they are trusted by customers and they are used to sell vouchers such as credit for mobile phones, blah, 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 blah. For those who have never been to France before, these are everywhere. In New York, these would be the equivalent to, like, or rather anywhere in the States, like a corner store, like a bodega. These are every single place. So imagine your corner store wherever you live selling Bitcoin, especially in denominations of 50, 100, or 250. I wonder how many people are there. There are a lot of people who are, what's it called? I knew people growing up, I'll put it that way, who used to buy like scratch offs and lottery tickets and stuff like that. I wonder how many people are going to start to shift whenever they decide to buy lottery tickets or something with the lotto, and instead they'll end up buying some Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. I think it's quite interesting. There was also another news article, I think it's right here, where the central bank came out almost immediately talking about that they do not endorse plans for tobacco shops. When I first read around, there was another article that said that the central bank had forbid it. But apparently it's that the central bank has said that they do not think it is a good idea. They think that crypto is still extremely, what's the word? Risky. Don't touch it. Don't do it. Do it at your own risk. I wonder what they think. And I want other things like this to happen all around the world. When I talk about like everyday adoption and stuff like that, it's things like this. Like imagine if Walmart or Kmart or Target or like even your local supermarket, like, you know, when you're walking out, sometimes they'll have like those, you can buy those like those Xbox or those PlayStation cards, and they cost $15 and 20 euros and 25 so and so. Imagine if those were for cryptocurrencies. If you could just, when you're cashing out of somewhere, just pick up one of them and add some crypto to your life. It's kind of interesting. This is a very good start. Like I said, these are everywhere in France. For those who have walked around France or have lived in France, they are every single where. I wonder exactly what kind of impact this will actually have. For the most part, France, they haven't been like super negative on crypto, but they also haven't been that friendly. They lowered the tax situation in the country a couple of weeks ago. I think it was like 39% before for taxation against crypto. Now I think it's like 30%. Still not that low. But it's still very interesting. I love stuff like this. Hope that this actually ends up happening. I'm a little annoyed that so many things that we've been told were going to happen have not ended up coming to be, but this should definitely end up happening. Quick side note, I don't know the extent of everyone's reach around the world or how much, like what everyone does for a living. If you have, what's the word? If you have sway or weight at your job, or you know someone who owns a corner store or something like that, try to get them to also see if they can also sell cryptocurrencies. I wonder exactly how well that would do. When it comes to like adoption, being able to walk into your corner store or to a store where they sell tobacco and stuff like that, or even inside of your supermarket, to be able to have people just walk by and know that they can pick up even $10 worth of Bitcoin, or like a little slip that says, $5 of Litecoin, that has a very big psychological effect. And one of the main ideas about cryptocurrencies is that when everyone owns a little tiny bit, there was something I was listening to on a podcast. They were saying what they need to figure out is how to get more people into crypto in very small amounts. Because what ends up happening is, let's say you end up having 0.01 Bitcoin and the price goes from 4,400 right now and ends up hitting 9,000. The money that you put into that, you've doubled. And it becomes a thing where you want to end up buying more. And this is how we kind of get the ball rolling. So like I said, I don't know what everyone does for a living, but if you have an idea as to how we can get this rolling, or you know someone who has some type of an influence where we could get this to more people and more people can start to getting into the cryptocurrency space, let's make it happen. All right, everyone, that's definitely going to do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day. Morning, afternoon, and or evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you once again for watching and or listening. I do appreciate all the support, more than you could possibly begin to imagine. And yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. See you.